Hello students, welcome to chemistry classes. Now we shall continue with the chapter States of Matter. In this chapter, now we are going to discuss about few important concepts like kinetic, molecular theory of gases. Kinetic molecular theory of gases. Students, we have already learnt about the gas laws. Boyle's law ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕಲಿತಿದ್ದೇವೆ, ಚಾರ್ಲ್ಸ್ ಲಾ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳಿದಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಈ ಬಾಯ್ಲ್ಸ್ ಲಾ, ಚಾರ್ಲ್ಸ್ ಲಾ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಿವೆ, ಇವುಗಳನ್ನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. Scientists did experiments and based on that, few conclusions were given and they are the different gas laws. Now, here in the concept kinetic molecular theory, what we are studying is about the microscopic model of gases. That is, what happens to the gas molecules about which we are going to study when we vary the different parameters. The few assumptions or postulates of kinetic gas theory are: the gas is made up of large number of very small particles. These particles are either atoms or molecules. So I can say first postulate or first assumption of kinetic molecular theory is the gas consists of large number of small particles. Large number of small particles. These particles, as I have told you already, they are atoms or molecules. ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಅನಿಲ ತುಂಬ ಕಣಗಳಿಂದ ಮಾಡಲ್ಪಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಆ ಕಣಗಳು ಯಾವುದಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಂದರೆ ಅಣುಗಳೇ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಪರಮಾಣುಗಳೇ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಈ ಅಣುಗಳು ಅಥವಾ ಪರಮಾಣುಗಳು ಬರೀ ಸಣ್ಣವು, ಬರೀ ಚಿಕ್ಕವು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅವುಗಳು ಏನು ಗಾತ್ರ ಹೊಂದಿರ್ತವೆ ಅದು ಇಡೀ ಗ್ಯಾಸಿಗೆ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಬರೀ ಸಣ್ಣ. ವಾಟ್ ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಸೇ ಈಸ್ the gas molecules are very small. The volume of gas molecules is negligible when compared to total volume of the gas. ಅಂದರೆ ಈಗ ನೀವು ಈ ರೂಮನ್ನು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಅನಿಲ ಇದೆ, ಅದು ತುಂಬ ಕಣಗಳಿಂದ ಮಾಡಲ್ಪಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಈ ಕಣಗಳು ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಣ್ಣವು ಅಂದರೆ ಅವುಗಳ ಗಾತ್ರ ಈ ರೂಮ್ನ ಗಾತ್ರವನ್ನು ಹೋಲಿಸಿದಾಗ ನೆಗ್ಲಿಜಿಬಲ್. ಸೊ ಅದು postulate number 1 of kinetic molecular theory. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕಣಗಳು ಅಥವಾ particles, they are considered as a point masses. Now let's come to the postulate number 2. According to kinetic gas theory, between the particles there is no force of attraction. So no force of attraction is found between gas molecules. ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಅನಿಲದ ಕಣಗಳ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಆಕರ್ಷಣೆ ಇರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ನಾವು ನೋಡಿರಬಹುದು, ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ರೀಸನ್. So second postulate of the kinetic molecular theory proves that gases expand at ordinary temperature and pressure because of the no force of attraction between the gas molecules. Now postulate number 3. Since there is no force of attraction between the gas molecules, they move randomly. So gas molecules have random motion. Gas molecules are in random motion. ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ನ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಚಲನೆಯಲ್ಲಿರ್ತವೆ. ಅವು ಚಲನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವುದರಿಂದ ಈ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಒಂದು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಅಂತಿಲ್ಲ. ದೇ ಡು ನಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್. ಸೊ ದ ಗ್ಯಾಸಸ್ ಡು ನಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ definite shape. Since the gas molecules are in random motion, there is no definite shape to the gas. Postulate 4 says that the gas molecules move randomly in all directions in a straight line. Gas molecules move randomly in all directions in straight lines. ಸೊ ನಾನೀಗ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ. ಈ ಕಂಟೈನರಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಅತಿ ಸಣ್ಣ ಕಣಗಳಿಂದ ಮಾಡಲ್ಪಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಈ ಕಣಗಳ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಆಕರ್ಷಣೆ ಇರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಮತ್ತು ಈ ಕಣಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲ ದಿಕ್ಕುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಣಗಳಿಗೆ ಚಲನ ಪ್ರವೃತ್ತಿ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ರ್ಯಾಂಡಮ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ ಅವುಗಳು ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಕೊಲೈಡ್ ಆಗಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್. ಅವು ಚಲಿಸುವಾಗ ಒಂದಿನ್ನೊಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಡಿದುಕೊಳ್ಳಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಕಂಟೈನರ್ನ ಗೋಡೆಗೆ ಬಡಿಯಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ವೆನೆವರ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಮೂವ್ ರ್ಯಾಂಡಮ್ಲಿ in all directions, there occurs collisions. Gas molecules undergo collision with each other. Collision with each other and with walls of container. Whenever gas molecules move, they collide with each other and also with the walls of container. This is the reason why the pressure is exerted in gas. So, pressure exerted in gas is due to collision with walls of container. Collision with walls of container. So, whenever gas molecules move, there occurs collision with each other and with the walls of container. The pressure exerted is actually due to the collision with the walls of container. Now let's come to the postulate number 5. We know in the gas collisions occur. These collisions are actually elastic collisions. Collisions are perfectly elastic. Means whenever the gas molecules collide, they do not lose energy, they do not gain energy. There is no loss of energy, there is no gain of energy. Means total energy of the gas remains the same. Here, gas molecules may exchange energy between them. There is one gas molecule may transfer some amount of energy to another gas molecule, but total energy remains the same. So, we say collisions are perfectly elastic. No energy is lost, no energy is gained during collision. Now, postulate number 6 if I take, we know here in case of the gas, molecules move. Whenever movement occurs, you all know, the speed varies. Even though all molecules have equal speed initially, that may not remain the same throughout. ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಅನಿಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕಣಗಳಿವೆ, ಪ್ರತಿ ಕಣದ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ವೇಗ ಒಂದೇ ರೀತಿ ಇರಬೇಕಂತಿಲ್ಲ. ಇನಿಷಿಯಲಿ ಅವುಗಳ ವೇಗ ಒಂದೇ ರೀತಿ ಇದ್ದರೂ ಅವುಗಳು ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಬಡಿದಾಗ ಅವುಗಳ ವೇಗ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗಬಹುದು. ಅಂದರೆ when the gas molecules are in motion, their speed varies. When the speed varies, their kinetic energy also varies. So postulate number 6 says gas molecules may have various speed and hence they may have various kinetic energy. So every gas molecule do not have uniform speed and uniform kinetic energy, but for the whole gaseous system, the kinetic energy is considered as average kinetic energy. This average kinetic energy of gas is directly proportional to the absolute temperature. It is proportional to the absolute temperature. Kinetic energy, that is average kinetic energy, is directly proportional to the absolute temperature. Means temperature given in thermodynamic scale, which is Kelvin scale. ಯಾಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆವರೇಜ್ ಕೈನೆಟಿಕ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದು? ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಕಲಿತಾಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ನ ವೇಗ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಅವುಗಳ ಕೈನೆಟಿಕ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಕೂಡ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇಡೀ ಗೇಷಿಯಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮಿಗೆ ಆವರೇಜ್ ಕೈನೆಟಿಕ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನಲ್ ಟು ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್. ಇದು ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಯು ಮೈಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೀನ್ ಆನ್ ಹೀಟಿಂಗ್ at constant volume, the pressure increases. On heating, at constant volume, pressure, which shall be known as capital letter P, increases. If pressure increases, kinetic energy also increases. That means increase in temperature increases kinetic energy. Therefore, we say kinetic energy is directly proportional to absolute temperature. So, these are some of the postulates of kinetic molecular theory of gases. Students, now we shall discuss about behavior of real gases. Now, what is meant by real gases? We have studied already about Boyle's law, Charles' law and Avogadro's law. Any gases which obey Boyle's law, Charles' law and Avogadro's law at all conditions, they are called ideal gases. Ideal gases are just imaginary, hypothetical. The gases which exist in the atmosphere, they are all real gases, means they deviate from the ideal gas behavior. So here what we are actually studying is deviation of gases from ideal gas behavior. Deviation of gases from ideal gas behavior. The gases which are found in the atmosphere, they do not obey Boyle's law, Charles' law, Avogadro's law at all conditions. Such gases are called real gases or gases which are deviating from the ideal gas behavior. Here we are going to study about the reason for the deviation from the ideal gas behavior for the real gases. To study this, we can consider the two graphs. One is product of pressure volume versus pressure, that is PV versus pressure. Another graph is pressure versus volume. If we plot the two graphs for different gases, we will understand how exactly the deviation occurs for the gases from the ideal gas behavior. So, now what we know is real gases are those which do not obey Boyle's law, Charles' law, and Avogadro's law at all conditions. For these gases, now we are going to plot the graph. As I have already told you, the graphs we are plotting are PV versus P, and one more graph is P versus V. First, let me consider the graph of pressure volume, product of pressure and volume versus pressure. Now, deviation of gases from ideal behavior can be studied by plotting the graph of PV versus P, where I am going to take the pressure volume product on the y-axis. This point is 0. From bottom to the top, PV increases. In the x-axis, we are going to plot pressure. It increases this way. For the ideal gas, which obeys all the laws like Boyle's law, Charles' law, Avogadro's law, the graph is a straight line which is parallel to the x-axis. So this graph is for the ideal gas. Now let us consider few gases found in the atmosphere which deviate from the laws like Boyle's law, Charles' law and Avogadro's law. Let's consider 4 gases: carbon monoxide, methane, hydrogen and helium. For the carbon monoxide, if I plot the graph of PV versus P, the graph is found like this. This is the graph for the carbon monoxide. Look at this graph. What you find is, as you increase pressure, initially PV volume, PV decreases. Then it increases with the increase in pressure. That means at the initial stage, when the pressure is increased, the carbon monoxide shows negative deviation from the ideal gas behavior. After that is as pressure increases, it shows positive deviation. Initially it shows negative deviation, then it shows positive deviation with the increase in pressure. Let's consider another gas, that is methane. For methane, if we plot PV versus P, the graph is found like this. This is the graph for the methane, that is CH4. Here also you can find the same. It is somewhat similar to the graph of carbon monoxide. Here also, with the increase in pressure, initially PV decreases, then with the increase in pressure, PV increases. Means, for methane also, as the pressure increases, there is negative deviation from ideal gas behavior. Then it shows positive deviation. Let's consider two more gases, that is helium and hydrogen. For the helium and hydrogen, the graphs are the straight line graphs which show gradual increase in PV with the increase in pressure. For the hydrogen and helium, if we write the graph, they are lines. This is for the hydrogen and this is the graph for the helium gas, He. Look at it. What you find here is, for hydrogen and helium, the curve of PV versus P is not parallel to x-axis, means they too deviate from the ideal gas behavior. Hydrogen ಮತ್ತು helium ಕೂಡ ideal gas behavior ಇಂದ deviate ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಆದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಏನು ಕಾಣಬಹುದು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಒತ್ತಡ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದ ಹಾಗೆ PV ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಎರಡು ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ಗಳಿಗೆ, ಈ ಎರಡು ಅನಿಲಗಳಿಗೆ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಡಿವಿಯೇಷನ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಕಾಣಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ. ಫಾರ್ carbon monoxide and methane, initially there is negative deviation, then positive deviation. For the hydrogen and helium, there is positive deviation from the ideal gas behavior. So this curve or this graph proves that the gases which are found in the atmosphere, like carbon monoxide, methane, hydrogen, helium, these deviate from ideal gas behavior or they behave as real gases. Similar type of observation we can see when we plot a graph of pressure versus volume. Now we plot the pressure versus volume graph. In the y-axis, I will consider pressure. In the x-axis, let's plot volume. This is 0. We know at a constant temperature for a given amount of gas, as pressure increases, volume decreases. Pressure and volume are inversely proportional to each other at constant temperature for the given amount of gas. So, when the volume is high, pressure is low, or when pressure is high, volume is low. Now let's consider at high pressure, the volume is less. As pressure decreases, volume goes on increasing like this. This is what we find in case of ideal gas. Look at the graph here. At high pressure, less volume. As pressure decreases, volume goes on increasing. This is the graph for the ideal gas. Let's consider any gas found in the atmosphere, which we call real gas, because it deviates from the ideal gas behavior. For that, if we plot pressure versus volume, you will find the graph like this. This is the graph for the real gas. This is the graph for the real gas. Just compare the two graphs. In case any gas found in the atmosphere perfectly obeys Boyle's law, Charles' law and Avogadro's law, the two graphs should coincide. ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿಯರ್ ಇರುವ ಯಾವುದೇ ಅನಿಲ ಐಡಿಯಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಥರಾನೇ ಬಿಹೇವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ಎರಡು ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಒಂದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದಿರಬೇಕಿತ್ತು, ಒಂದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕಾಣ್ತಿದೆ? ಎರಡು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ಸ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, at high pressure the deviation from the ideal gas behavior is small. You take the lower pressure, the deviation from the ideal behavior is less. This graph proves that at low pressure, the deviation from the ideal gas behavior is less. Or you can say, at low pressure, real gases behave somewhat like ideal gases, but still you find the deviation. So, both the graphs say that the gases which are found in the atmosphere deviate from the ideal gas behavior. Now questions come. Why there is deviation? Why there is deviation from the ideal gas behavior? Or at what conditions real gases behave as ideal gases? Now next we are studying about the answers of those two questions. ನಾನು ಇವಾಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ಯಾಕೆ ಗ್ಯಾಸಸ್ ಐಡಿಯಲ್ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರಿಂದ ಡಿವಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಏನಂದರೆ, ಯಾವಾಗ ರಿಯಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸಸ್ ಐಡಿಯಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸಸ್ ಥರ ಬಿಹೇವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ? ಈ ಎರಡು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಕಾರಣ ಹುಡುಕ್ತಾ ಹೋದರೆ ಏನು ಕಂಡು ಬರ್ತದೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಟು ಪಾಸ್ಟುಲೇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ kinetic molecular gas theory are not suitable for all gases. So, let's study about those two postulates which do not hold good for all gases. So, two postulates of kinetic gas theory do not hold good for all gases at all conditions. Which are they? The first one is the force of attraction between the gas molecules is nil. One of the postulates is no force of attraction between gas molecules. This is one of the postulates of kinetic gas theory, which is not suitable for all the gases. Kinetic molecular theory ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅನಿಲದ ಕಣಗಳ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ಆಕರ್ಷಣೆ ಇರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ಇದು ನಿಜವಾಗಿರ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಅನಿಲಗಳನ್ನು ದ್ರವೀಕರಣ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಂದರೆ when the pressure is increased, volume decreases beyond. At that time, the liquefaction occurs for the gases. Generally, gases get liquefied at a high pressure or on cooling or by doing both. ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಎರಡನ್ನೂ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಅನಿಲಗಳಿದ್ದದ್ದು ದ್ರವ ರೂಪಕ್ಕೆ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗಬಹುದು. ನಮಗೊತ್ತು ಅನಿಲಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕೈನೆಟಿಕ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಉಂಟು. ಆದರೆ ದ್ರವ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಗಾತ್ರ ಕಡಿಮೆ, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಣಗಳ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯ ಆಕರ್ಷಣೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಈ ಪಾಸ್ಟುಲೇಟ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅನಿಲದ ಕಣಗಳ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಆಕರ್ಷಣೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ಹಾಗಾಗಿರ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ದ್ರವೀಕರಣ ಸಾಧ್ಯನೇ ಇರ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, liquefaction is possible for the gases. That proves that there is some attraction between the gas molecules. And another thing is, once you liquefy the gases, further compression is difficult. Means you cannot compress the gases to very tiny volume. This proves that along with attractive forces, there exist some repulsive forces. Students, understand properly. According to kinetic molecular theory of gases. Between gas molecules there is no force of attraction, but in fact there is some force of attraction which leads to liquefaction of the gases. So this postulate is proved wrong. Second postulate which is proved wrong is volume of gas molecules is negligible in comparison to the total space occupied by them. Kinetic molecular theory says that the gas molecules are very, very small size. So they occupy very small volume, which is neglected when compared to the total volume of the gas. But it is not so. If this is true, in pressure versus volume curve, the curves of ideal gas and real gas should coincide. But we have seen there is deviation for the real gases from ideal gas behavior. So these two postulates are proved wrong, and because of this there is a deviation for the gases from ideal gas behavior, and the gases behave as real gases. Students, we understood why gases deviate from the ideal gas behavior. That is due to interaction between the molecules. So we can say real gases deviate from ideal gas behavior due to molecular interaction. ನಾವು ಇವಾಗಷ್ಟೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಆಕರ್ಷಣೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಅಂದರೆ ಅವುಗಳ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಇಂಟರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆ. ಆ ಕಾರಣದಿಂದಾಗಿ ಅವುಗಳು ಐಡಿಯಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರಿಂದ ಡಿವಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ. ನಾವು ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಮತ್ತು ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಗ್ರಾಫನ್ನು ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. We know at high pressure deviation from the ideal gas behavior is more. At low pressure deviation is very, very less. So first let us study what happens at high pressure. At high pressure deviation from the ideal gas behavior is more. So let's consider the condition at high pressure. At high pressure, the molecules will be close to each other. So, the molecules interact. Between the molecules, there occurs some attractive force. Pressure high ಇರುವಾಗ molecules ಒಂದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದರ ಜೊತೆ ಇಂಟರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತವೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಯಾವ ಫೋರ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಅವು ಕಂಟೈನರ್ನ ವಾಲಿಗೆ ಬಡಿಬೇಕಿತ್ತ ಆ ಪ್ರೆಷರಲ್ಲಿ ಅವು ಬಡಿಯೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಗ್ಯಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಈಸ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ದ collision of gas molecules with the walls of container. So, if I consider a gas in the container, the gas molecules which are in the bulk, they are equally attracted by other gas molecules like this. But the gas molecule which is colliding with the walls of container, since it feels attraction from other gas molecule, it is pulled backward. So the gas molecule which is colliding with the walls of container, it is dragged back by the other gas molecules. Since there is interaction between the gas molecules, or since there is attraction between the gas molecules, so pressure of gas, pressure of real gas is different from the expected pressure. Kinetic theory प्रकार gas molecules मध्ये attraction है, but in fact there is attraction between the gas molecules. So the gas molecules striking to the wall will not strike to the wall with the pressure that is expected. Means pressure of real gas is less than the pressure expected or pressure of ideal gas. So if you want to equalize these two, that is the pressure of ideal gas and pressure of real gas, some correction factor must be added to the pressure of real gas, and that correction factor is AN squared divided by V squared. So here P ideal is pressure of ideal gas, P real is observed pressure, and AN squared by V squared is correction term applied. It is the correction term applied to the pressure. Here A is van der Waals constant. It is van der Waals constant. The value of A depends upon nature of gas, and the value of A do not depend on temperature and pressure. Van der Waals constant A denotes or indicates the magnitude or amount of attractive forces between the gas molecules. So this indicates the amount of attraction that exists between the gas molecules. So pressure of ideal gas is equal to P real plus AN squared by V squared. Here what is N? N is number of moles. V is volume. So this is the correction term applied to the pressure, since the gases deviate from the ideal gas behavior. So this is the correction term for the pressure. Similarly, there is a correction term for the volume. We know, according to kinetic gas theory, volume of the gas molecules is negligible, but actually it is not. Whenever there is high pressure, along with attractive forces, there are some repulsive forces also. When the pressure is high, the volume is low, so gas molecules exist as tiny spheres, and between these spheres there exists a repulsion. This repulsion leads to some volume for the gas molecules which exist as sphere. So volume of each gas molecule cannot be neglected. Means the volume can be given as V minus NV after applying correction factor. Here N is number of moles, V is another van der Waals constant. This van der Waals constant denotes size of or volume of gas molecules. Size of gas molecules or volume of gas molecules is denoted by van der Waals constant V. Now we know the ideal gas equation what we have is PV is equal to nRT. This is the equation for the n moles of gas. This equation is not suitable for the gases which are found in the atmosphere as they deviate from the ideal gas behavior. So in this equation, we have to write pressure and volume after applying the correction term. So pressure becomes P plus AN square by V square. Volume V becomes V minus NV. So let's do the changes in this equation, and the equation what we get is P plus AN square by V square. This is pressure after applying correction term. V becomes V minus NV, that is equal to nRT. This is the equation which is called as van der Waals equation. This is the van der Waals equation for n moles of gas. Suppose you want the equation for 1 mole of gas, put the n value as 1. So if I put n value as 1, what I get is a van der Waals equation for 1 mole of gas. For 1 mole of gas, equation is P plus A into 1 square, that is A, divided by V square, into V minus NV becomes V minus 1 into 1, that is V minus P, is equal to n value is 1. So 1 into RT, that is equal to R. This is the equation for the 1 mole of gas, whereas P plus AN square by V square into V minus NV is equal to nRT. This is the equation for n moles of gas. And this is the equation suitable for all the gases. So this is all about the van der Waals equation. So now what we understood is, when the pressure is high, there occur molecular interaction. They are attractive interactions as well as repulsive interaction. As a result, the gases deviate from the ideal gas behavior at very high pressure. But when the pressure is decreased, when the pressure approaches zero, at that time the molecular interactions become very, very less, and in that case the gases behave as ideal gases. So understand, at high pressure gases deviate from the ideal behavior for large extent. At low pressure gases behave as ideal gases. Next, let us move on to the concept of compressibility factor. Compressibility factor is denoted by the symbol capital letter Z. What is this compressibility factor? It is the measure of deviation of gases from ideal gas behavior. ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಕಂಪ್ರೆಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಗ್ಯಾಸಸ್ ಐಡಿಯಲ್ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರಿಂದ ಡಿವಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅದರ ಮೆಷರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು ಐಡಿಯಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಷನ್ PV is equal to nRT. So the ratio of PV to nRT, that itself is called compressibility factor, that is Z. For ideal gas, this ratio, that is compressibility factor, is equal to 1, because ideal gas PV is equal to nRT. But the gases which deviate from ideal behavior, Z is not equal to 1. It is either greater than 1 or less than 1. Let's understand how the Z value varies for different gases by plotting the graph of compressibility factor Z versus pressure. Students, to study how the variation of the ideal gas behavior occurs for the real gases, that we are studying by plotting compressibility factor Z versus pressure. Z is plotted in the y-axis, pressure is plotted in the x-axis for the various gases: nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, methane, carbon dioxide, and also for the ideal gas. Look at this graph clearly. When you plot Z versus pressure, for the ideal gas, the graph is parallel to the x-axis and the graph is a straight line at compressibility factor Z is equal to 1. That means for the ideal gas, Z is equal to 1. This is because the ideal gases obey the formula, obey equation PV is equal to NR. This is the reason why the Z value is 1. This is at all temperatures and pressures for the ideal gas. But if you consider other gases, what you will find? Consider a low pressure. Z value is almost nearer to 1. Means at low pressure, for any gases, compressibility factor Z is almost equal to 1. That you can clearly observe here. At very low pressure, Z value is almost equal to 1 for the gases. Next, let us consider at high pressure. At high pressure, when the pressure is very high, look at the graphs, they are above 1. Means at very high pressure, Z value is greater than. So, at high pressure, for gases, compressibility factor Z is greater than. Let's consider another condition, fourth condition. At intermediate pressure, you can see up to here. At intermediate pressure, Z value is less than 1. So at moderate pressure or at intermediate pressure, for gases, Z is less than 1. That means only at very low pressure, real gases behave as ideal gases since their Z value is almost equal to 1. Now we know gases behave as ideal gases at low pressure. So now we are studying to what extent the gases behave as ideal gases, and that we can tell in terms of temperature. That temperature at which real gases behave as ideal gases up to or at a certain range of pressure or appreciable range of pressure is called Boyle's point. We know at low pressure the gases behave as ideal gases. Below Boyle's point, that is below Boyle's temperature, value of compressibility factor is less than 1, and above Boyle's point, the compressibility factor value is greater than 1. At the Boyle's point, the value of Z, that is compressibility factor, is equal to 1. Because at Boyle's point, the gases behave as ideal gas up to an appreciable range of pressure. We know at the low pressure, and at high temperature. Gases behave as ideal gases. Generally, gases behave as ideal gases at low pressure and high temperature. Now, let me come back to the compressibility factor, that is Z. We know Z is equal to PV divided by nRT. Z value is less than 1 or greater than 1 for the real gases. So the same equation I can write this way. Z is equal to PV real divided by nRT. We know for ideal gases, PV is equal to nRT. Same equation I'll write this way. PV ideal is equal to nRT. Or I can say V ideal is equal to nRT by P. Let's substitute this value in the equation what we have. So when we substitute this value, what we get is nRT by P. nRT by P is equal to V real by Z. nRT by P is equal to V real by Z. Or we can say V ideal is equal to nRT by P is V ideal. So V ideal is equal to V real by Z. Or we can say V real divided by V ideal, that is equal to Z. So we can say compressibility factor Z is ratio of the actual molar volume to the molar volume. Here V real means the actual molar volume of the gases. So Z is equal to PV by nRT is one equation. Another equation in terms of volume is Z is equal to V real by P ideal. For the ideal gases, value of Z is equal to 1. For the real gases, Z value is either greater than 1 or less than 1. So this is about the compressibility factor.